Hey designers, welcome back to another Design with Elliot, with me, your host and fellow designer, Elliot. It's a pleasure to have you on this week's video. This is episode 3 of Design with Elliot, which is absolutely huge. The first one popped off, the second one did very average, and this one's gonna be right in between both, I can tell. So welcome to the video. I'm filming this very late at night. It's a late night here in Sydney, Australia, because of course that is when graphic designers legally find the most inspiration. We're gonna be making a little post on my Instagram page once again. Maybe it'll blow up this time, the other two have not. So who knows, this one could be a good one for the Instagram page as well. So come join the journey, see how I make my designs, how I do my process, and maybe we'll learn something new together through the power of having fun, experimentation, and other design words that we all know and love. So open your laptop, open your computer, open your phone, design along with me, and let's have some fun doing some design. Welcome to Design with Elliot. A big thank you to ReadyMag for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so in the last 2 videos, I promised you that I had something thought up in my head, some sort of preconceived idea that we could work on together rather than starting from scratch, and both times I failed you. I disappointed you, and I'm gonna say enough of that. Today, I actually have an idea, and I promise you that I have something for you, okay? I have something that we can start with, and we can build upon it on this video. And here it is. You didn't believe me. None of you believed me. Be honest. So here's the post we're rocking with. It says, to all my clients who follow me, thank you. You are my biggest inspiration. Love, Elliot. Now, I think this is quite sweet. I think it's a sweet little post. One, because I think a lot of my clients will kind of be like, oh, that's quite cute. He's talking about us. And then at the same time, it's very much like, you know, my kind of style on Instagram and the things that I post are very much based around an honest depiction of the creative experience and the graphic design industry and all that. And a lot of my jokes come out of my client experiences and how horrible they are to me and how horrible they are to other people. So I think this one is a nice little nod, you know, but just putting the word out to any clients who are watching this video, any potential clients, especially in the future. I am such a pleasure to work with. Trust me, I would never make a post about you. Everyone else, sure, but you, future client, no. You're in my good books, okay? Message me. Please message. Oh God. I kind of want to structure it so we've got like a header up here. Obviously, we got a middle chunk of text, which could be cute. Might want to split up the thank you as well in that one, and the love Elliot at the bottom. So this is very much bare bones stuff, and I think that's how I usually start my designs, with a very bare bones kind of phrase or quote, and then we kind of go from there. So let's get into it. The first thing that I kind of want to do is I work on like usually like in the past, I have worked with like a business card sized file. Right, that's how I kind of work. I like doing this, but if we check out my posts, I love doing these kind of business card sized designs. The reason being, it was kind of like an ironic take, I guess, on the graphic designer's identity, a business card. Right, every graphic designer has a business card, and then I have a million, and they're all got funny little honest sayings on them, rather than my personal details, I guess. But yeah, I think if we go with something like this, it could be fun, some sort of business card shape. So what I'll do is I'll just use a nice little rectangle just to get a general sense of the size. I mean, I've made so many that it kind of feels right. But what I want to do today is I want to flip it. Uh-oh. That's right. I want to flip it. I just want to see kind of what will happen if I flip it, you know, and make it similar dimensions to the poster size that I usually do anyway. But, you know, it's exciting. It's different. It's new. Maybe you'll appreciate that. Let me know in the comment section below. So now we're working with the text a little bit, kind of getting the structure right. I think what I will do is I'll make these into kind of separate layers so we can just work with each one individually. So we've got to all my clients who follow me is up here at the top. I'm not using a grid or anything like that. I think a lot of designers love to use the grid. I'm not really a grid guy. I'm gonna be honest. Never have been. I use the grid that's up here, okay? The grid that exists in my mind. I see it everywhere. You can't get it out of my head. It's from years of screen time. It's horrible. Kind of nice little borders on the outside. Those are the little things that I look for when I come to designing. I know a lot of my audience are quite young, up and coming designers, which is super cool, as I am as well. I'm just a boy. What we're just gonna do, I'm just going to go into blending options and add a little stroke. Now, I know I'm using Photoshop, okay? I have to say this every single video because a lot of you get very upset in the comments and you tell me, oh, it'd be so much easier in Illustrator. I know, trust me. And I once again, I say this every video, but one day, guys, one day. Not today, not tomorrow, not next week, but one day I will learn Illustrator. Or not. I really like Photoshop. Sorry. Speaking of new things, this is actually the last video in this apartment, which is pretty cool. So I don't know if that changes anything, but I just thought I'd let you know I'm moving out this week, which is very exciting. So look forward to new videos in a new apartment. Ooh, you know, hey. New stuff. I'm not stressed. So the next thing I want to do is have some sort of focus on thank you. I think that's quite a nice message. The thank you. You are my biggest inspiration, right? So we can play around with some type here, some cheeky little type. I think it makes sense to do like a nice kind of script type here. Something like Nautica. If you guys don't know Nautica, we used it in the last design with Elliot briefly, just in the A. Super clean type, right? Super clean type. You can't get any better than this. And this is just on Adobe Fonts. Oh, delicious. That is absolutely clean as. And we can just do a cheeky little connect here because who doesn't love the connect? This just makes it a little bit more satisfying, I guess. And let's shrink these and start playing around with how I kind of want them to look. Just connecting that K and the Y there. It doesn't have to be super clean, in my opinion. I don't really care if it does. This is not a natural curve. I don't think people will pay too much attention to it if they're anything like me. And then we can connect those two together, maybe just change the angle, and that's looking a little bit better, right? That's already looking quite a bit better. And that's a nice kind of clean addition to the top of the design, I think, and it's kind of scaled quite well. So let's bring that in as well. Bring that coding in. A keyboard shortcut that I'll mention every time I use it. If you just press Alt or I think Option on Mac, if you're a Mac user, I'm not one myself, but maybe you are. If you press Alt and then the arrow keys, it just increases and decreases the kerning between two characters. And it is a lifesaver, a time saver, and frankly, it is the best thing that has ever happened to my life. So yeah, that's just a handy little hint. We're just gonna add a cheeky little second rectangle here, just in the background. Put all these back because I screwed up before. Just need to fill that layer in like so. Just give it a tiny bit of a drop shadow. So to all my clients who follow me, thank you. And then we can have a little, you are my biggest inspiration. We've got a lot of like empty space here, which I don't really like. I'm a big fan of filling in as much as possible. And we might be able to find an option to fill that in later. Maybe like a nice little love heart or something. That could be cute. That could definitely be cute. I think my client would really like a little love heart. That would be quite sweet. That's kind of cute. Yeah, that's kind of cute. I kind of like that. There's definitely more. Oh, what we could do, maybe a second one. Love hearts should always come in 2s or 3s, I say. Big believer in that. We can chuck a second one that's there, and then that fills it in even more, right? Let's make the first one a little bit smaller, just so the fitting is nice. And there we go. We might also just take that stroke down to 3 pixels, just because the 5 is a bit much for my poor eyes. Now, some people as well ask me what kind of like size the file is. So I always work on a 4000 by 5000 pixel JPEG document, I guess, in Photoshop at 300 resolution. I find that works best for me when it comes to exporting to Instagram. However, depending on the textures you use, depending on the detail of the design, it's really going to be just a method of trial and error. So really just give it a crack and see what works best. But I'll tell you this thing. I'll tell you one thing. If you want to use red, that will most definitely be compressed. Like most definitely be compressed. Like a bright red or a bright blue even. Like yikes. Try and avoid those colors as much as you will. Wow. How cool is that? We're letting social media platforms compression decide what colors to use in our design. God, makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder what it's all for, all this designing for Instagram stuff. Oh, that's right. The joy of getting followers. Oh, temporary joy. Awesome. So this is looking nice. This is looking nice. I've been saying that a lot, this one. So, well, I've got good feelings about it, okay? I think what we could do, this is kind of what I'm envisioning it as, right? I'm thinking like we've got a nice little header here. We've got a big kind of chunk of space down the bottom, and then we can have a little love Elliot, right? There we go. That's cute. Sure. Sure. A classic brush script never hurt anyone. So now we want to figure out what we can do with this space down here. And we've got a lot of it. Okay, we've got a lot of space. This really is kind of opening up the options. So what we're going to do, this is how I make my little cheeky shapes. So let's take a rectangle here, a rounded rectangle. Let's well and truly round it off so it's all connected like that. We'll make the background, or the fill color rather, the same color as the background. We'll duplicate that one, move it bottom right a little bit, fill that one in as black so we have a nice little thicker edge. We're going to rasterize those two layers together because I love a sweet pixelized design. We're going to merge these two like that. And then we're going to duplicate that layer so we can keep that original just in case we want to come back to it. And we don't have to, I'm on a busy schedule. I don't like wasting time. So let's go into warp here, edit, transform, and then warp. Then we can just play around a little bit with the shape and see kind of what we come up with as we drag these kind of corners around. Now, I'm not looking to make anything too abstract like we're kind of looking at here. I just want like a nice little subtle change to the classic rounded rectangle, right? Something that we could fill in with like a gradient. And boom, have a look at this. This turned out really well. This is like two rectangles stacked on top of each other here. I made two, warped them around, and then kind of got these shapes so you can kind of see they're kind of just covering each other up there. So what we're gonna do is let's group those up and just merge them. I like keeping the original layers just in case I want to do anything with them later. You never want to like open a file like 10 years later and you're like, oh, I wonder if I can access that same shape, but only half of it, and then you've rasterized, merged everything. So I like keeping the originals. It does stack up. Oh my God. My system storage is well and truly in the red, but that's okay. It is what it is. We're graphic designers. We are problem solvers. We will fix everything that comes our way. So no need to worry about me, YouTube, sweet viewers. I've actually been thinking, what name should we give this community here? This small little sweet graphic design community over on the Elliot side of YouTube. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments because I really do appreciate all of you. And I think this was a great venture moving to YouTube. And you've all been very sweet to me. Most of you. Some of you have been not nice, but that's okay. It happens, You guys have my back. What is the name of this community so I can say, hey, you, instead of hey, YouTube, Like what? Maybe we can have a think in the comments.
Shut up, Elliot from the past. It's time for me, Elliot from the future, to say a few things really quickly. Wearing a new hat and in a background that you might not recognize because I just moved in. There's a lot that's happened in the time that the video has been filmed and this part has been filmed, but we'll figure it out. Let me tell you this. I've tried designing a few websites in the past. I've always wanted to make a website that was super cool, like all the ones that I saw online with their fancy little animations and all this stuff that I thought you had to know code to be able to do. I've tried pretty much every template builder out there online and nothing really clicked. But then when ReadyMag stumbled into my life, I realized that that is possible and it's super easy and it's also a lot of fun. I'm currently in the process of designing 2 websites with ReadyMag as we speak. The first one I'm making is all about Elliot is a cool guy with descriptions of what I've done on Instagram, Twitch, hopefully a store, client work, basically a portfolio site. And the other one I'm doing is a landing page that will hopefully be the link in bio for a lot of the social pages that I have. It's got all the tools for design lovers, 5,000 plus fonts, a simple drag and drop style editor, grids, guides, and just a bunch of other things that you'll discover as soon as you get started. They've been an absolute joy to work with, and they're offering you a very cheeky little deal where if you use the promo code Elliot, the first 50 users can try out the studio plan for only $20. Thanks again to ReadyMag for sponsoring today's video, and I hope you all enjoy the next 20 minutes or so to come. All right.
This design is looking nice. Okay, I'm really happy with this. I think what it needs now is a little bit of color, right? Some sort of like gradient change or something like that. So what I think might work best, and I just want to trial this really quickly if I just kind of make a new layer and chuck a fill layer just above it here, right? I'm going to just press fill and we'll change that blending mode to like a darker color. There we go. So this is the shape that we would get. Maybe we'll change it to darken really quickly. Yeah, here we go. So this is the shape that we would get if we were to fill in like that shape with some sort of like gradient or something. And that's pretty cool. In fact, that's so cool that I want to try it out with the gradient. So let me just pull one up. And that's looking pretty cool right there with a kind of like pre-designed gradient installed freshly just like that. So yeah, I think I'll make one and chuck it in. I think that could be a nice little thing. It's like almost like a heart, potentially, like a human heart. Maybe like it gives that kind of energy to me, and I also just think it looks very cool. By the way, if you're wondering where this gradient is from, it's like, Elliot, how do you have all these pre-built gradients just like lying around? What the hell's wrong with you? Well, you're in luck because me and the TikTok design legend Andrei Azizov have actually combined forces to make an asset pack, which you can check out in the description, which will give you 10 of these gradients as well as a billion other things. So that's pretty cool. That's a plug for that. Thanks to all who've got them so far. They're really cool. I find a lot of use out of them. Link in the description. So let's get into the process of making some sort of gradient kind of shapes to fill in for this design here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to group all the layers together. We can ungroup these, but it's just the easiest way for me to hide them. We're going to open up a new layer here, take a color. Let's use this bold yellow. Boom, boom, boom. And use a little soft brush. Here we go. Soft brush. There we go. Just a little squiggle around. Little squiggle around. Nothing too simple. So now that we've got this, we're going to get a new color. And that doesn't look like... Wait, hang on a second. Oh my god, I'm not typing anything. Suddenly the computer's taking over, everyone. The computer... Oh my god, the computer is taking over. It's unbelievable. But the message that the computer is telling me is very good. Please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. New layer, new color. Let's make this one a nice little navy blue. Chuck that in kind of there. And then a final color. We're just going to use like a nice cream just to kind of fill it in. If I just kind of go around the outside, super simple. Let's merge these layers together. Boom. Let's add some noise. Boom. And let's do some warping really quickly. And what I'm trying to do here, I'm not really going for like the colors aren't super important for me. The colors just help me get an idea of what kind of like shapes and how we can get the contrast in between some of the lines. Because what I want to do is I don't really want to use the color in this one. I think I want to keep it as like a solid yellow, right? And then have like a noisy kind of outline going over the top of it. I think that could be cool. That might not make any sense, but in my head, it makes so much sense. So that's what we're going to kind of roll with and see if we can come up with anything in the next little bit. Let's set that to darken because why not? And we'll kind of curve that around. See, that nice kind of like curve is exactly what I'm looking for, right? That kind of curve there is super clean. Let's kind of take that. Let's merge these two together and let's just try something. Let's try something right now. I don't even care. Let's go to blur. We're about 6%. Blow those out a little bit. Go into noise. Add some more noise, about 7%. And let's take back that original layer now. Okay, and we're going to try something here. And this could 100% backfire. Absolutely could 100% backfire. So let's shrink all of this. Kind of match that curve that I've got there with one of these existing curves. Like maybe that curve there could be fun. And let's change this to... Ooh, see what I mean? Yeah. It did work. I was right. Yes, good. Oh my god, that would have been really embarrassing. Oh, right? Like, how cool does that look? You know what I mean? This is just on the hue blending mode. If you ask me to do this again, I will not be able to do it. But that's pretty awesome. I'm going to be honest here. So let's merge these two layers together, that yellow and that gradient that we had to get this again. Let's go into our noise. Let's add some noise just to make that nice and cool. And the colors are like working, but I want them to work a little bit better. So let's go into our select. Let's go into color range and let's choose this nice little pinky color here. Let's make the fuzziness, whatever that means, a little bit higher. And then we'll press OK. We'll make a new layer. We'll get that red selected, any color really for now. And we'll just fill that layer in. We'll click a few times just to lock it in. And there we have it. That's looking pretty cool. So let's keep filling that in if we can, make it a little bit more poppin'. What we might have to do is just quickly duplicate that layer, and then duplicate it again, and then duplicate it again, and then merge all of those. Nice, clean, Elliot is a cool guy process. And that's looking pretty sick, right? I really like how kind of bold that red is, and also how noiseless it is as well in comparison to the yellow and this like pink outline. I think it's a real nice contrast. So let's play around with the color that we've got here. We're going to group these two together really quickly, and we'll just duplicate them and merge them so we can clip them back on just like that. Let's go into image, adjustments, hue and saturation, and let's just do some slight little changes here. Let's pump the saturation really quickly. Bring it back down to that nicer yellow. And then some people don't know you can do this, but if you go into this little, this thing here, this thing, right? You click that, and then you choose like a color, like the red, for example. This new slider opens up on the hue and saturation, yeah, which points out the kind of color range that we're using here, which is that red. And we can go in and we can actually, why didn't that work? Oh my God, when the graphic designer does the technique that he thinks he knows and then it doesn't work. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Stop the video. There is an actual way to do it. I think I'm now realizing if we try this again and then do that, and then we change, I think if we go, there we go. Okay, so you just have to change the hue while you, yeah. Cut that out, oh my God, Tiggs, cut that out, please. Please save me from embarrassment. Wow, right? I mean, this looks pretty good already. I'm wondering what these will do if we kind of like expand these out. Okay, so they changed the outlines a little bit, which is kind of nice. It might be nice to have them as like a unified color, something like this. We're probably going to go into color range again anyway after this, and that changes that. That's interesting. So let's take back that red. Ooh, I mean, come on. Oh, I like this a lot. Sorry, I'm getting so passionate about colors and gradients, but wow, you know, look at that. What is this? Pixels, I know. Do this in Illustrator and send it to me, and then I'll use Illustrator. It's probably very easy to do in Illustrator, but please don't send it to me, actually. I don't need to know things I already know. But let's go into color range, and I'm thinking if we can get this color, this blue here, if we can get this color to like a kind of gray blue, you know what I mean? I think that would look really cool. Like something like, yeah, something down here. Here we go. Kind of get it a little bit more blue there. We'll do okay. That looks, I think that's a nice little contrast. And we'll rasterize that layer style too. And we're just kind of playing around with this abstract little shape that we've got going on. We might just go back in real quick, and I just want to see if I can get rid of that lighter kind of like blue outline, as I don't really like it as much as I thought I would. So let's see if we can do anything about that. Maybe change it to that red, or like, oh my God. I'm sorry. Wow. Okay. I did like the blue, but this is looking pretty nice. This like brighter kind of yellow. And I think that we're going to stay with that. And I think that's one heck of kind of like a color combo. And it's a color combo that I don't really use too much as well. Let's just merge all of that together just so it's easy to edit right now. Because, you know, this is just a little design with Elliot. It's nothing too fancy, right? And let's move that, center it a little bit here. Might rotate it a little bit too. And we might as well go into edit, transform, warp, and then kind of move that around. Just a little bit, bloat it up, tiny little bit, and that looks pretty nice. Wow, awesome. A lot of potential here for the final kind of charge of the way. And I think, oh my God, I think it might be time for a break. That's right, it's time to take a break. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the sweet sounds of my voice as I tell you about an artist or a designer that I've been really admiring recently since the last design with Elliot. And I've got a good one today. Maybe it's you. It's probably not. I don't think any of the designers I've mentioned engage with my content too much or watch these videos. But maybe one day they will. And that'd be cool. But yeah, have a break if you've been working. Breaks are important. We all deserve a nice little rest. And oh my God, my eyes are absolutely killing me doing this video. There's also something I was going to ask you this, and I might as well ask you this during the break time. If anyone has any recommendations, mainly like Australian eye drops, but like I think every time I film one of these videos, I've been staring at my screen all day because I've been working usually. I do work first and then I film. YouTube doesn't pay the bills yet, but if you subscribe, it might. If anyone has any eye drop recommendations to stop, especially like the redness, because like, oh my God, sometimes it's a bit much and sometimes it makes me feel self-conscious about filming. So if you have any recommendations for eye drops, I'd love to hear them. Please, and also glasses that don't do this. This is so bad. This is gonna be like, this is a real revealing segment, real revealing break time. But see, that shouldn't happen. I actually sat on these glasses once, which is why they're so crooked. I was playing VR. Sat on my glasses for 10 minutes. The account I've been inspired by today is the one and only Peter Fredrickson, who is a super cool artist, actually, working out of Chicago, but Chicago as the Chicago accent might, maybe that's a thing. I don't know if I think I've heard that in movies before. But what Peter does is some super cool, like real abstract kind of cool cartoony vibe art style, which I absolutely adore. I mean, pretty much everyone I've shouted out on this break time has had this kind of like cartoony aesthetic, which I just love so much. But what makes Peter's work so sick is that it is embroidered, which is absolutely unreal, right? I never really thought that embroidery was kind of a medium to this extent when it came to art. I haven't really seen anyone doing stuff like this before. But yeah, it's such a cool combination of like a really cool art style in general with these like bright colors. Like I love the yellows and the pinks on this one. Oh my God. And then the embroidery on top of that is just like a whole another level of cool and skill. So this is Peter Fredrickson. Go check him out if you want. And Peter, if you're watching this, I'm a big fan. That probably means nothing to you, but wow, it's very cool stuff. So yeah, thanks for inspiring me. And back to work now. So I think we're up to the finishing touches of this piece. Super happy with how it's turning out so far. Absolutely love the shape that we've got going on here. Love the composition. Let's add a little background to this. We might just choose a color. I think that would be easiest if we take like something like that. I think that's going to look the cleanest, and I think that'll work really well with that little drop shadow that I've got going on. So let's have it play. That nice yellow that I always work with. It's always going to be a winner for me going with this like bold, bright yellow. So let's just give that one a crack. Yeah, that looks nice, right? That looks pretty clean as is. But what I might do is we can pull out that gradient that we had before, as long as I saved it, which I did. Thank God, smart boy. Is if we take that gradient here and we kind of make it bigger, right? Oh, okay. That's not the gradient that I thought I saved, but it is a gradient. Okay, so I'm thinking if we take like this kind of gradient in the background here, and we get a little bit of that red in, maybe we have to do a little bit of transforming here just to make it, make as much red as possible kind of go in there. Let's kind of bring it down here to something like that. Because what I'm thinking could look really cool is having that like clean yellow background and then kind of like going, I guess, like continuing that gradient in the background as well, but only about half of it, right? So I want to kind of erase the top end here, which will also just like smoothen that out. Like something like this is nice, yeah. Like I really like this, and I don't really do this too often. And this is okay. Oh my God! Last week, if you guys watched last week's video, last design with Elliot, you'll know how like unhappy I was with the design at the end. I was masking that. I'm gonna be honest right now. I was 120% masking the hell out of my immense disappointment. I think I'm happy with this. No, but I don't love it. But this is like turning out, this is like one of my favorite posts I've done in ages. But let's just try and match the colors that we've got going on. Okay, we'll try and match them as like a last ditch kind of attempt for cool. So let's kind of lock that in there. And then the only other thing would be to change the pinkish color in the background. And I think we should just be able to do that in hue and saturation. If we just go into this little tool, boom, change the hues. There we go. We can change that to like to a nice, maybe if we make it darker, pump the saturation, we can find a red somewhere. That's kind of cool. Make it darker, make it darker. Get it as red as possible. Oh, even that yellow. Even that yellow looks good. But yeah, I think this kind of works. Maybe if we multiply it. Oh, that looks really nice. That looks nice. That looks nice. I like that a lot. Okay, we're gonna add noise to the background here. A simple 7% noise, just like that. And then I'm gonna merge all of these background layers together. And merge them all together just so we can do some last minute kind of fine tuning to the exposure, I think is what I want to do. So let's make it a little bit brighter and then kind of bring down the offset and bring up the gamma a little bit. And then we're going to go into, as soon as it loads, we're going to go into image adjustments, hue and saturation, and just bring down the saturation a little bit because it's just a bit intense right now. And we don't want it to get too compressed. If you're going to use red, that will most definitely be compressed. Like a bright red or a bright blue even, like yikes. But that's looking pretty damn cool. Now we can take that main image, make it super big, cheeky little rotation, just for fun, for kicks and gigs, as they say. You know me, I'm not swearing on this platform. And I think as soon as we add a little bit of noise to that, I think that I am overjoyed with this design. So that's cool. Thank you. It's done. Oh my God. What a day. What a day. I've been designing all day. Now I'm designing all night. And now I'm going to do something else after this because it never stops. Well, it does stop. It's just I'm moving this week. So it's like I'm trying to get everything done before I kind of like have to move, you know? I want to make sure that I don't have the stress of design while moving. I think that's a smart move. But I'm excited. I'm very excited to get into that. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you're excited for me. Awesome. Parasocial relationships. But yeah, thank you so much for watching Design with Elliot 3. I was super happy with how that went down. I absolutely love the Design with Elliot series, and I hope you guys do as well. If you want to see more, let me know, as always. And if you made something at the same time as me, then bloody tag me on Instagram or use hashtag #ElliotIsACoolGuy or something. I'll try and see it if it pops up in my notifications. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and a big thank you to my sweet Patreon people who even saw this video 1 week before it came out. Can you believe that? 1 whole week. Wow, what a privilege that they get to have on top of a million other things that I am so kind enough to give them. So if you would like to be a Patreon, the link is in the bio. It is a lot of fun over there. We have a Discord, we chat, we play games, we stream, we do everything together. We live together. It's unreal. It's so intense. But it's great. It's really good fun. So yeah, thank you to all my Patreons for bringing you this video, and yeah, they're the best. You can join them too. If you like this style of video, then you'll 100% love my Twitch streams where I do pretty much exactly this live on stream, but dragging it out over 3 hours and then trying not to get distracted. No, don't call. No. And then doing a whole bunch of other silly things in there as well. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot more unhinged. It's all over the place, but you'll absolutely love it. Let me tell you that, and let me know if you're from YouTube. If you pop in one of my lives for the first time, I'd love to say hi. But yeah, that's it from me. That's it from Elliot. Thanks so much for coming to another Design with Elliot. Thank you to my amazing editor, Tegan, for putting this together. Once again, compliments to the editor. But yeah, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed all the content so far. We're going to be pushing for more later on in the year. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Check out my other stuff if you want, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.